welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. This episode, we're going to discuss the 2017 film, Good Time.
Sorry, we just have a client that walked in.
We good?
When you get another 10 grand, your brother will get out.
Where are you? How much money can you get right now? Come on, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding me? What do you think I'm doing this for? I want to get him out tonight.
Directed by the Safdie Brothers, Ben and Josh Safdie, and starring Robert Pattison. So this movie was on my radar. I'm the only one who saw it out of the two of us. But this movie was on my radar as a super interesting film from the A24 film house. I am not a Robert Pattinson fan. I saw one of those Twilight movies and I wanted to blow my brains out because they're awful.
You saw one?
Yeah, on a dare.
I guess you gotta see it to know that you hate it.
And I did. Yeah, I did. It was terrible. That being said, this movie is absolutely fantastic. It is super good.
So what's it about?
So the plot is there are two brothers, and actually, Ben Safdie plays one of them. So Robert Pattison plays this guy, Connie Nikas, short for Constantine. And his brother is Nick Nikas. Nick is special needs, right? Some sort of special needs. You know, he's just not completely incapable of communication, but a very, slowed version, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And Robert Pattinson's character is, this normal functioning guy. They end up robbing a bank together, and Nick Nikas gets arrested, right? The kid who's slow, he gets arrested and taken to Rikers, right? Because they don't realize that he's slow. They're just like, we busted you, you're going to Rikers. Meanwhile, Connie gets away, and so he's trying to raise money to get his brother out of jail because, again, his brother's at Rikers and is super dangerous, and he knows his brother's slow, so he thinks his brother might even get killed there, right?
Right.
And so the entire movie is this sort of acid trip of a story of him trying to get this $10,000, this extra $10,000 to get his brother out, right? He's trying to get it to the bail bondsman, but he's willing to do anything to get there. And it's just if anything, the movie, what's interesting about the movie is this idea of it's like a very 80s style film where it's way more about the trip than it is about where it gets to, right?
Yeah.
If I had to take one thing away from it, a lot of these movies are like, here's the lesson, characters, like, do you get it? Kind of thing. That's not what the movie is about. Like, there's no culmination at the end. You go, aha, did he learn his lesson? No, there's not. It's just about what you're willing to do for your brother. And you go on that, like, the movie is like really about like the sort of seedy underbelly of New York. Mm-hmm. Two, it's got a lot of great side characters that you meet, and they're interesting and funny. Like the I Am the Captain Now guy from that one movie.
Yeah,
he's in it. Like he plays like a security guard at this like carnival area in New York, which is a really funny sequence. Like there's parts, like the story is so absurd at points that you just can't help but laugh. Like it's not a comedy by any means, but it is a super interesting film. The Safdie Brothers fucking killed it, dude. Like it is, like you are drawn in. The soundtrack is really good. It's like a very 80s synth sort of soundtrack if you're into that. It's weird, and like the people he meets are all like shady kind of criminals, and there's like this big pivotal part that happens in the end of the first act that kind of sets the stage for like the rest of the movie that is super crazy. And I don't want to ruin it because I literally, when it happened, I was like, wait, what the fuck? And like, oh, okay. And then you just go off on this other thing. It's wild. It's a wild fucking ride.
All right, I like movies like that. With a movie with interesting characters in a location that is treated like a character.
Yeah, New York is very much a character in this movie.
Yeah. Okay. Robert Pattinson, I mean, has this changed your mind about
100%. 100%, dude. 100%. This movie is going to be this is the film that is going to change everybody's view of him. Absolutely. I mean, he goes from a sparkling vampire in those other movies, in those Twilight movies, to this gritty, kind of like shady dude who is he's just a creep. Like, he's just a fucking creep in this movie, but you love the character. Like, there is a scene of him interacting with this young black girl that, because he needs to like use their phone or whatever, and he's interacting with this young black girl, and he does something, and you're just like, don't do that. Like, that's creepy and weird, but you realize why he's doing it. He's doing it for ulterior motives, and you're like, yeah, it actually seems about right for your character, because you're just kind of a dirtbag. Like, you just are. And there are just moments like that are really interesting. I really, honestly, it's a 5 for me. It was fucking, you know what? That's not fair. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. And the only reason why is there's no lesson at the end, where I would have kind of, like, the ending, I kind of would have been like, not wrapped up in a neat bow, but like maybe some interaction where it's like, okay, not that he needs to change, but like something to go, this is actually why these things are happening.
Do you feel like his character went through an arc? Is that what I'm guessing?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it didn't.
It didn't. Like, right. and that's the thing is, yeah, his character doesn't have an arc. Like, he's a dirtbag in the beginning. He does a dirtbag fucking thing, ends up screwing his brother over. In this situation, he's fighting hard as hell. Like, he legitimately cares about his brother. But yeah, there's no arc. There's no like, oh, I see, I have to make sure my brother is in these programs because he's special needs and stuff like that. No, that is not how it ends.
But now it sounds like that's, and scores,
it's on purpose.
Scores are semantics, right? But
right.
It sounds like that is the one hiccup that is a negative in the movie. Like, do you see that as a negative, or do you see that as just this character?
I just think it's this character, right? But I think I could see people making the argument that he should have had this like full character arc kind of thing, which is where, like, I'm saying 4.5 from that like sort of movie style technicality, but like it's really kind of not fair to take it off the movie because that's what it's supposed to be, right?
Right.
So I lean back and forth between that, but I'll say 4.5. It's fantastic. Like, it really is damn good. It's in my opinion, it's one of A24's best. Like, it's right up there to me with...
That's high praise. Especially coming from you.
Yeah, like, I love A24 stuff, and like, I love Moonlight, obviously. I've liked a lot of their movies. Good Time is their 4th or 5th actual like film that's been in theaters, right? Because they've had like Moonlight, Ex Machina, which I loved, and things like that. This is right up there with it. Like, the ones that they choose to like really throw into the theaters and really put money behind, like for like a world, like a super wide release, top notch. This absolutely. All right. Like, and I'll just say this to end it. The title is exactly what it is. It is a fucking good time. Like, you are watching this movie, you are 100% engrossed in this story from the second the plot starts. And that's like, really, it starts out with his brother with a psychologist or something like that. But once Pattison arrives in the movie within like the first 3 minutes or something like that, the movie just literally takes off from there, and it never slows down for 2 hours. You're just like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I saw it in a press only screening, and I was sitting in a row by myself, and I was just like riveted, like just totally riveted. Like, you didn't need the crowd to like boost it up for you or like laugh or like gasp or anything. Like, I was completely riveted to this story. It's absolutely fantastic.
Excellent.
Yeah, Safdie Brothers are doing good work, man. It's cool because this is their first major motion picture. Like, they've done a bunch of things that have not been that have been kind of under the radar because they're indie directors, right?
Yeah.
This is their first one working with like a big Hollywood name and shit like this. This is gonna put these guys on the map.
All right.
Absolutely. All right. That's it for us for this episode of Coming Distractions, and we will see you guys next time.
See you.